What's up, weirdos? I have a confession to make about Colleen Ballinger, who's getting a lot of attention right now. Colleen, aka Miranda Sings, has been like a staple on the YouTube community. She's like an OG, and recently she's come under fire for leaked DMs and texts of her and minors, and creepy things she's done and sent to minors and said to them, like very weird things. Not to mention the treatment of her own kids in her videos, where it feels, exploitative. So I just wanted to start this video by coming out and getting ahead of it and talking about my personal relationship with Colleen. When I was like 13, 14, 15, I wasn't even really a fan of Colleen's content or the Miranda Sings like character. But back then, before I knew about all the creepiness, I thought that she was very pretty. Like my friends would make fun of me because they would have like, like the crush on a Summer Rae or like somebody else like that. And I thought that Colleen Ballinger was so pretty, which now looking back is interesting because 14-year-old me might have had a better chance with her than I do now. Ain't that icky? But since my early teenage years, I have evolved, I have grown, and I no longer like Colleen Ballinger. In fact, I think she sucks. So in this video, I want to do a deep dive into all of her creepy, like real things. These aren't allegations. These are documented evidence, screenshot, real things. We'll start by going to the now infamous Colleen Ballinger snark subreddit. I'm personally not a fan of hate pages. I think they, suck and like you can do anything better with your time. But when it's about somebody like Colleen who is genuinely bad, it's just a place where a lot of that evidence can get categorized and, listed. Like, for instance, this tweet from Johnny here, who used to work for Colleen on her Miranda Sings tour. He said she bases pieces of Miranda off of her disabled relative. She literally told me that to my face. Which puts that character in a bit of a different context since she acts like a mentally immature, stupid idiot, but she's not actually a kid, I guess, because, she's in her 30s, so it would make sense that she's making fun of somebody who is mentally disabled. And in my opinion, I'm just gonna say this, going out on a limb here, I don't think it's funny to make fun of mentally disabled people. And that's just my opinion. And just to refresh your memory real quick, here is a little bit of Miranda Sings.
Hey guys, it's me Miranda, and today I have a special guest because I'm gonna teach you guys how to be famous.
Isn't that great? Two people who famously have inappropriate relationships with teenagers, and they're teaching you how to be famous. I wonder what step one is. So first, you find a 17-year-old. Now I know you're in your 30s, but you can do it.
Yeah, so get a group chat with a bunch of 14-year-olds and then you can send them pictures of your panties. You can ask the 13-year-olds to send you pictures of their butts.
Yeah, and you can do it. You're famous. And that right there, weirdos, is a very tasteful joke about child creepers. Anyways, enough about Colleen's character and Larry David's son. We'll get into the main accusations from Adam McIntyre in a second, but first I want to show you like how big it's got. This was a big deal when Impact posted this on Instagram, and they're like a socially impactful culture like content thing with 2.4 million followers on Instagram. And they posted this multi-slide thing that I just want to take us through real quick to give a big overview of the whole thing. So pretty intense right off the bat, Colleen Ballinger, also known as Miranda Sings, has been accused of grooming kids online. With, the Miranda Sings there in the thumbnail, that's a little creepy, very accurate. It's sparking discussion about how celebrities interact with children. I don't know if it's sparking discussions as much as just saying, hey, don't sext kids. And everybody who reads that goes, oh, I didn't even think that was bad. Oh. Colleen Ballinger, 36. Yeah, keep that in mind. She's in her 30s. She's 36 years old. Also known as Miranda Sings, was a popular YouTuber in the early 2010s. Her comedy and vlogs amassed a large fan base primarily made up of children. Obviously, if you watch any of the videos, many of her young fans are now nearing adulthood, and they're speaking out about the ways Ballinger and her best friend Corey DeSoto, 36 as well, use their platforms to reportedly groom children online. Okay, yeah, they talk about how a YouTuber posted a video with screenshots. Let's just go ahead and look at the screenshots though. This is the first like big one that kind of broke everything, but it gets worse. She asks him, a 15-year-old at the time, Adam, you need questions for your Q&A? And then, without him responding, I guess, just says, are you a virgin? And she's in her 30s and he's 15. Insane. I'm over a decade younger than her. I can't even imagine thinking that's okay to say. And she has kids. That's also the thing. Has kids. Can she not understand that it would be weird if somebody that her kids idolized had a group chat asking them if they were a virgin? She can't think about, is that weird? And then there's this screenshot from a separate time where, the group chat is still full of minors. Kids who watch this type of content.
I had a very successful show. Seinfeld, that's my show.
No, what's that? Oh, yeah, that's your show.
Yeah.
Okay, no, never seen that.
Kids watch that. Or Jerry Seinfeld's girlfriend, which is probably why he went on that channel, honestly. And by the way, a decade ago when I saw this, I would see Miranda Sings and be like, you guys don't even know. She's so hot when she's not Miranda. Colleen is so hot. And if I'd been in one of the group chats, I could have said that and she could have said, okay, show me that ass, boy. Because that's how she'd be talking to minors. Anyways, back to the screenshot. One kid says, at Taco Bell. Another kid says, I'm about to eat 90 brownies. Colleen says, tell me what move I should make on ball cocker cock blocker stock dick. Oh, okay. So why would you say that?
I can't even
Be like, and then minor saying,
suck his dick.
that is so bad. She created that situation for a minor to say that. We assume it's a minor because her videos and, you know, people who were in those group chats coming out and saying, yeah, I was 12. And there's also screenshots that we'll get into later where you can obviously see that she knows that these are kids. She says that is inviting a sexual conversation with minors. Why would you do that? And then she says, okay, I'm gonna go to him and say, hi Patrice, I'm ready to stress eat your wiener, so show me your ball cocker. Thanks for the advice.
Yes, an amazing plan. You're welcome.
Does it feel creepy? Do you not like it when I do the kids' voices for those people because of, you know, the conversation? Colleen should have felt that way when this was fucking happening. I don't want to just read it out and be like, oh, this is a conversation that happened. I want you to know, those are kids. This is so icky. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to Adam McIntyre's video and look at the screenshots that he has in that video because he has so much. Before we get into this, I just want to say ahead of time, I know that Adam's presence online doesn't necessarily have like the greatest reputation. He has a bit of a reputation for inserting himself into drama and then like clout goblining off things that aren't, you know, involving him, and I get that. But these are screenshots from before he was even an online presence. He was just a fan. And a kid, by the way. However you feel about him, these screenshots are from Colleen, and it's like, this is real. I say that because I know a lot of the time when people bring up like T channels as evidence, it's like, okay, well, they're literally just scrounging for views, and hate is the greatest way to get views. Which is true, but he's not just like a T channel outsider who's inserting himself. This is his situation. This is him. So he's, you know, the most qualified person to talk about this. Just wanted to get ahead of it there real quick. So the lore is 3 years ago, April 2020, Adam made this video right here, Colleen Ballinger Stop Lying, where he leaked a lot of these texts for the first time. She then came out with her response, which was an apology where she was like taking accountability of it, but also going, I was so young back then. That was so long ago. You know, when she was still older than me and an adult online, interacting with young kids. It was so long ago. I was so young. I was such a kid. But her apology / response was like very well received, and she kind of just skirted around it. But then 3 years later, Adam came back and he's angry. Sorry for the poor quality on this screenshot. This thing has been screenshotted so many times. Look at all the different masses from people who are making videos about this. Oh my god. This is another, you know, Colleen Ballinger group chat with minors.
You're so weird.
What's your favorite position?
OP,
I don't know what that means.
Lord Jesus.
Who is your least favorite YouTuber?
Hey, if it's helping you, then embrace it.
What we're seeing here is a, you know, side conversation, a conversation that has nothing to do with anything that Colleen's talking about. And then her coming in and go, hey kids, what's your favorite sex position? What's your favorite way to fuck? And the kids in the group chat ignore her because they don't want to talk about it, because that's weird. I think it's safe to say that she has just poor taste in what's okay to say, because look at this tweet. Oh my god, the public restroom I'm in smells like #gagging. You could have said that it smells gross, or you could have just shut the fuck up. That's also possible. All right, cookies, go follow Harvey Julian. He's hilarious and you should all R-word him with love. Okay, hey fools, sorry I've been MIA. Moving is killing me right now. I'll be R-wording your Twitter feeds again very soon. Smiley face. All right. Not what I would have said. Kind of triggering because of, you know, thank you for keeping me up all night, scary cop in my dream that kept R-wording me. I hope we never meet again. Don't share that. You can keep that offline. Kind of weird thing to just pop out as a little joke. Josh and I were sweetly talking of our love for each other, and then the rancid smell of my silent fart R-worded us. I think I ruined the moment. You don't think we can move on from this little chunk? I think it just is clear that her taste is not for kids. She goes on tour, and the only people who show up are kids, and her group chat is just kids, and her audience is just kids. But the content that she's putting out and the way that she's talking to them is not for kids. And this is why kids content, in my opinion, is so fucked up. There's no like rules and regulations for creating kids content online. Oh, they're technically art. No, you can act like, you know, I just want to make nice stuff for kids, but it's fucking weird. For instance, a guy like Ian Boggs, who has 12.7 million subscribers. And I'm just gonna say, you know, I've heard, like, I know somebody who's interacted with him in real life and they said he was nice. The person who said that, I don't like. So I don't know about their judgment, but I, you know, haven't heard anything that bad about it. But I feel weird when I see this from a grown man.
Guess you're going blind then.
Why would you say that?
Dude, no one in our school swears as much as you. It's like breathing for you.
That's for kids. That's for nobody older than 10 years old, which is fine, I guess. But he's not employed by Cartoon Network with a lot of oversight to create content for kids. He's just making content for kids because it's easy to get a lot of views from kids, and it doesn't take any talent to get views and money from kids. And again, there's nothing wrong with that video. Like, sure, do that. But when you make all these things specifically to attract an audience of kids, and you know that your audience is kids, and then you post things like this, it feels weird. Because the only people that watch his videos are kids. So he's posting that for kids. And he has to know in his mind, kids are watching this. And I'm not saying he's doing that because he wants like a kid to, I'm sure he just wants the only followers that are actually adults, his other online internet creator mutuals, to see that and then be attracted to him so that he can kiss them a vid. I'm sure that's what it is. But if he was making kids content under the regulations of a media corporation, that would not get approved because they would say, hey, we're a show for kids. That's not for kids. And if you post that, you're posting it for kids.
Hey, you see that nerd over there? I bet you $1,000 you can't get him a date to prom. $1,000? Okay, easy peasy.
Does that seem like it's for anybody above 10 years old? Does it? And then he can post a video like that where he's clearly, doing a lip sync thirst trap to his audience of kids. And I know that that's kind of, astray. Like, what did he do? But it bothers me. It bothers me so much, and I fucking hate seeing that shit. And people who do content for kids who are adults. It is a very weird thing to choose to do as a content creator as an adult. To be in your mid to late 20s up to Colleen in her mid 30s and to not want to make content that you enjoy or your peers enjoy, but that kids enjoy because it's easy, but then you also act like him and her. He's not as bad as her. Obviously, I'm not saying he's bad as her. I do not want to make that implication. He is not. But what I am saying is that you have to self-censor yourself. You have to. If you're making content for kids, that's fine, but you cannot be talking to them about their favorite sex positions or sucking your boyfriend's and it's fine to make thirst traps if you just are making videos online. That's fine. I'm not saying that you can't make thirst traps, but when you are making videos for an audience of children, you've gotta self-censor, and if you don't, you disgust me. You've got to understand you can't do that. This right here, you can't do that. You got to understand that's fucked up. And if you do that, you're fucked up. I don't care what the context is. By the way, do not give a fuck what the context is. When I'm looking at this picture, that's it. That's it. Nothing that you say can make it okay for a little boy to stick his hands down your 36-year-old grown-ass woman pants on stage in front of everybody, in front of his parents. Or backstage! This can never happen. And praise God, Ian Boggs doesn't do this. He does not do this. So let's just keep that in mind. Don't understand how this wasn't the end of her entire career. Also, this is from a live show, so, I'm assuming she's done this many times as a part of her act, which is, ugh. And if any of her followers want to make the argument that, she doesn't know that the people in that group chat were minors, here's something to prove you wrong. Also, her live show is just kids, so obviously, but listen to this. Her best friend, Corey DeSoto, posted this into a group chat. This is his voice memo, so he's talking.
It sounds weird because I'm a full-grown adult and some of you are younger.
Oh my god.
And blah, blah, blah. I honestly think of all of you as my best friends. I don't have friends.
So I don't know if you know what that is, but that is grooming, by the way. That is what that is. That is a grown man in his 30s talking to a group chat of kids, calling them his best friends. And he sent that around the time that there was controversy the first time DMs got leaked and videos were getting posted about Colleen and her inappropriate relationship with her fans. So amidst all of the scandal for the first time, he goes in and sends a voice memo to a bunch of minors, emotionally manipulating them. Not a great look. And this is, in my opinion, maybe the worst. I don't know if it's the worst. It's very bad. Adam McIntyre, the guy that, this whole thing has, started from, he tweeted at Trisha Paytas, and I'm going to tread lightly here because it's Trisha Paytas. With the scandal happening right now, Colleen and Trisha are still posting. They've got their podcast together and they're still going strong on that. No mention of it, no addressing of it, just moving on. You are fucking weird, Trisha Paytas. I'm so glad people are seeing you never cared about victims, and your entire approach to speaking for victims is based on how much you can make it about yourself or how much attention you can get. Trisha, you are fucking disgusting. And I will say, this is disappointing to see from Trisha, because Trisha so often tries to make herself seem like somebody who is on the forefront of fighting for, justice online against terrible, crappy people. I think it's fair to say with all of the wars that she's gone into with people online, that's who she presents herself as. But then with this undeniable proof that Colleen is a terrible person who you should not be associated with, she doesn't care because she's gaining something from it, and Colleen's not an enemy. It seems like a lot of the time, Trisha goes after people with valid reasons. She will go after people validly, but because she has a personal problem with them. And I only say that because that's something that I have observed, every time that Trisha is in drama with somebody. It's because there's personal things and then she goes after them. And for a lot of the time, valid reasons. But then if she's cool with somebody and there's very valid reasons to criticize them, she won't. When she was tight with Shane Dawson, not a peep. But then when Shane Dawson was a bad person to her and made her hate him, she goes to war and has valid reasons. Everything that she attacked Shane Dawson for was valid. But she only does that after she's not getting anything from him and she hates him as a person. And then with Colleen Ballinger, radio silence from Trisha for somebody who presents herself as somebody who would never be radio silent against an abusive person like Colleen. And I'm sure that in the future, if Colleen turns on Trisha, then Trisha will, go after Colleen for all of the valid reasons. It's frustrating to see her clearly pick and choose based on who she does and doesn't like. And I'm sorry. I just wish we had the nuclear bomb of power of Trisha Paytas on the side against Colleen. That's all I'm saying. Because the slide I'm about to show you should be the reason that Trisha goes nuts on Colleen. And I cannot believe that she hasn't. Adam tweeted that, then Trisha blocked him. Okay, who cares? But this is the tweet. Trisha, Colleen and I used to send your OnlyFans pics and videos and make fun of how you look, by the way. I was 15, Colleen in her 30s. At first glance in the situation that we're talking about, that's like oh my god, Colleen was an asshole to Trisha behind the scenes? Oh my god. Oh, I hope Trisha gets mad at her. That's not important. Not important compared to Colleen, 30, sent me, 15, porn. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that a 30-year-old woman should not be sending pornography to a 15-year-old, regardless of if it's just making fun of the person in the videos. Because, it's porn! So anyways, let's get into the rest of the screenshots and just fully absorb how bad she is. Tell me all the thoughts you had when you first got your periods, please and thank you.
I cried? Let me think. I thought I shit myself.
God. Oh, kids. Example, I thought I shit myself because the blood was so dark in my underwear.
I thought I shit myself.
Yeah, okay. Not as bad as the sex stuff, but I will say, bad. This is a fun one.
My buck teeth came back. My ass looks so good today, y'all.
By the way, he's a kid. We're not blaming him. He's a kid, okay?
Oh, he started it.
She responded, he's a kid. Shut the fuck up.
How are your teeth still straight? Did you have those metal ones?
Colleen, pics, Adam.
Hi, uglies. I'm eating pizza. Go away, bitch.
So that's kids talking and a kid saying something, which as an adult, you should say, oh, I'm gonna disengage and not be in this fucking group chat in the first place. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that asking a young teenager for pictures of their ass is not something a 30-year-old grown adult should do. And that's just in my opinion. That's me talking. And right here is a video that Colleen sent Adam when he was 15 or 16.
The last time I ended up doing it for free because I did it for Eli too. So if I did it that I talk to privately in DMs and I'm picking favorites and I don't actually care about the fans because they don't consider you like a friend. So I'm nervous about Ziv and it was really expensive to do last.
So here you have a video of Colleen in her pool sending a video to a 15 to 16-year-old boy. And I don't think she's intending it in a creepy way, but that is the situation. And she is talking about how she views this 15, 16-year-old kid as her friend and is divulging her private personal feelings, which you should not be doing with a fan, especially one who is 15. You can become friends with people online, by the way. If somebody messages you and they're like, hey, I love your videos, Drew Gooden fucking married her. And she's a wonderful person. Drew Gooden's wife messaged him, okay? Ian from H3, his girlfriend messaged him. But they weren't 15-year-olds, and those people are nice people who aren't creepy, and they didn't make it creepy, and they didn't make it predatory. This is different. So I just want to put that out there. And then this is a DM that Colleen sent Adam that was for her tour. And I'll give you tickets, dum-dum. No, oh my god, my parents let me out. So he's just being like, oh no, I'll go. And then she says, you have to come backstage and hang. Again, this guy's 15 to 16 years old. You've got to understand that a woman in her mid-30s cannot be talking to a 15-year-old boy and trying to hang out with him backstage. You've got to understand that. I would be able to 100%. I'll give you whatever tickets you need, love. Oh my god, I'm trying to add that. I'll keep you posted. Okay, thank you, love you. I hope it works out. I have to see you. Come on. Shouldn't you be hanging out with your peers in age, like Jerry Seinfeld? Or are you guys just trying to figure out a double date for Chuck E. Cheese? Oh, got him. Ooh, got him. I don't even want to read all this, but there's so many screenshots. If you want to watch all the screenshots, you can watch Adam's video. It's just, so long. But that's because he's going through the entire chronological story, so it's great. But a lot of these screenshots are just her being very nice to him and having a conversation and genuinely caring about him. Here's the thing. You should not be forging this intimate and close of a relationship with a 15-year-old fan. And I know it's oh, but we're friends. We're friends in real life. Why are you friends with a 15-year-old? Why? I don't have any 15-year-old friends, and I'm 23. And you're 36. You are over a decade older than me, and you have friends who are a decade younger than my friends. Like, that's fucked. It's just fucked. I'm sorry, it's fucked. These emotionally intimate, like, close relationships should be between you and, like, friends. And you can make friends online. You can make friends online. But not with 15-year-olds, especially when they are a 15-year-old fan. It's not like having a mutual online. He's not your mutual. But that is who she is. Also, she sent a bunch of stuff to her fans in the mail, including her own lingerie. I don't even want it. That's just so fucked up. That happened though. You clearly cannot ask content creators to hold themselves to a standard that is acceptable for kids. When you have full autonomy and no restrictions on the stuff that you can post, and you can just plausibly deny, oh no, well my content's just for everybody, but you make videos like people who make kids content, and it is very obvious, I think that those people should not be given the free pass. I think they are all deserving of criticism. If you can't hold yourself to the standard of keeping your content appropriate when your audience is children, then you disgust me. Nobody is forcing you to publicly be inappropriate with your fans, whether that's posting thirst traps to your audience of 10-year-olds, or inviting a 10-year-old on stage and having them put their hand in your pants. There is no excuse for that, and those people should not feel welcome to post that type of content. You can make content for kids, but you have to make appropriate content. Every other media platform has so many regulations for kids because it is very important. Because without regulations, as you can see, people choose to do selfish and icky things. Because as you can see, when left to their own free will, kids content creators sometimes are disgusting. And let's end on this because I don't want to make an entire video about baby Gronk. But there's this one clip that is so sad and it makes the meme into like sad. If you don't know, baby Gronk is a middle schooler who's very good at football. And his dad famously was DMing every single sports media, anything, to try to get an interview with baby Gronk on their show. Exploiting his kid, trying to make money off of his kid. And this is somebody who took the bait and said, hey, yeah, sure, come on our podcast. But then they released this behind the scenes clip of what baby Gronk and his dad are really like. And it's heartbreaking, so let's just watch.
Are you him is the real question.
Yes.
See, I'm gonna punch him in.
Punch
Ask
him
that
in.
again, bro. Say, man, what kind of question is that? You see my Instagram? Say that. Ready? Go. All right, go
Hey,
ahead.
baby Gronk, are you him?
What kind of question is that? Look at my Instagram.
But because his son is like online and he does all this stuff, just online content creation with no oversight, he can just treat him like this. He can exploit and run his son's life for his own money. It keeps going. This is about Livy Dunn, the famous, beautiful LSU gymnast, who...
Take her to prom someday?
Hey, no, say it again, bro. You gotta say, man. I already DM'd her and asked her, and she said yes. All right, come on, man. Say on the mic.
Hey, baby Gronk, would you take Livy Dunn to prom, you think?
I already DM'd her and she said yes.
He's worse than the fucking dance mom in the wheelchair. I don't know her name. You know, the wheelchair bound one. It's insane the way he's like physically controlling his son and exploiting it. Like, this is so disturbing to watch. Is it disturbing? Am I overblowing? I do think it is disturbing because that's your kid and he's just treating him like he's fuel for his own life. It's disgusting. It is.
What kind of tuxedo you getting? OG James Bond style or what? Yeah.
Nah, hey, say it again, bro.
And what kind of tuxedo you getting?
I'm gonna get a Gucci one.
What are you gonna do, you know, to stay sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not gonna go through with middle school and high school?
Just work out.
No, I'm gonna get massages. I'm gonna get full body massages by some baddies.
That's his son, who he in his white trashness is choosing to do this to. Baby Gronk doesn't look happy. Baby Gronk looks like he's being emotionally controlled at the least. It's messed up, it's disgusting, and people like Baby Gronk's dad, I can't believe that that's a thing, and Colleen Ballinger and Ian Boggs and everybody else who makes bullshit content like him, they should not be allowed to operate in the way that they are operating. The Colleen stuff is like illegal. Like, that's crime. Like, she should be serving time. But for Baby Gronk's dad and the people like Ian Boggs who post that type of bullshit content, I think they should get, you know, a lot more shit than they do. When you are publicly exploiting your son like he is to Baby Gronk, then you should be, like, banned from just anything. You should not be allowed to run your kid's Instagram. It should just be his own choice. Because you are exploiting his entire life and you him up. And you shouldn't be allowed to do that. They wouldn't allow that in Hollywood. Sorry. Hollyweird? What? With child labor laws? Hollywood doesn't have the greatest history with, you know, kid workers. But there are at least work laws and, you know, treatment laws. Laws that Baby Gronk's dad should have to follow in this new media landscape. And Ian Buggs, you know, peace and love, when you post a thirst trap to your audience of 10-year-olds, I think that you should get a lot more shit than that than you do. And I'm sure that you're a fine person in general, but if you're gonna make kids content, just make kids content. Don't take your shirt off, you creep. Hope this video doesn't start any shit. Anyways, weirdos, I love y'all. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. We are hitting so many more subscribers. It's crazy how fast this channel is growing, and I'm so grateful for y'all. Keep those good vibes going. And if you're making kids content, stop, because it's weird. Or if you're making kids content and you're being a good person, keep going. But I doubt there's very many Mr. Rogers out there. I think there's a lot more, you know. Colleen, I think, is she gonna go to court for this? Is she gonna go to court? Is she gonna go to jail? I feel like she should go to jail. Is she gonna go to jail? Is she gonna go to prison? Is she gonna go to a maximum security